So what about St. Louis made you want to do this here? Is this an idea born out of something you see going on in St. Louis, or is this an idea that you could have done anywhere?
I think this is definitely an idea of St. Louis because Cortex is such an important part of this community, and it's such an important part of what's happening nationally in terms of where resources are being put and where we think the future of our communities are. So I think having this thing in St. Louis was crucial, and the event is really it exists. It's impossible for me to think of it existing outside of St. Louis because it is so embedded. And I think that's been the real interest for me is how do you look at resources that are already on the ground and then play off of those and how do you highlight them and make them more visible. What
do you mean in terms of like the Square or the big companies having a footprint here, or what do you mean when you say the resources on the ground?
Well, in terms of where a community chooses to put its resources, either civic or private. There's a lot of investment in this district. There's always press releases going out about new companies coming in, new buildings going up, et cetera, and there's a whole multi-year plan for this place. So I think everyone looks at it as a good place for investment dollars. And so from my perspective and for the work that I do, it's about how do you continue to kind of showcase what's going on. How do you put it forward, not only locally or regionally, but even nationally, because I think Cortex is a national story of how innovation districts can spur development, can spur economic activity, and can help drive a city that is challenged in many ways, but there's all this incredible stuff going on, but maybe it gets lost in the daily kind of challenges that sometimes we face. We really built this festival for all of St. Louis. We created multiple ways into the festival, so we feel like it really is for everyone. And I say, if you have a curious mind and you're in St. Louis this weekend, this is really where you need to be, because if you're into music, there's an obvious way in. If you're into art, there's obvious ways in. If you're into technology and science, so there's multiple ways to plug in, multiple ways to kind of experience these things within the context of all of these other pieces. So it's new, it's unique, it's a new kind of experience, and a very rich and deep experience, I think.
And for different age points too, right? I mean, you've got certain things that you want to have families bring their kids as well.
Yeah, we are in St. Louis, and it's hard to do a St. Louis event without having a family area. But what's been great is there's been some really incredible partners that we brought on. The Science Center, Magic House, and others who are in this space anyway. So this is an opportunity for them to really showcase what they're doing in the science and tech and art worlds, and really get in front of a lot of people.